If I've got paint on my face, that's because the guys are inside spraying. I decided to video it. Right, what we've got here is the guys have took away the spoil. As you can see, the dark patch there just filled just underneath the level, and now the tarmac gang's going to come and just go over the top of it for us.
And you can't learn this in a textbook. You've got to do it, you've got to feel it, understand what the steps are.
I haven't really been doing much videoing in the week when I've been on site, but I got the camera out, so why not? We've got, the guys are doing the reinstatement for us, so we've got grab lorry taking away all the spoil, and the tarmac gang's just turned up now, so I'll show you what's been going on. Hi guys, so I am back on site. I thought today what I will do is I will take you around outside and just show you what's happened, and then also what we need to do outside to get that finished, and then I'll take you inside and let you know what's happened and also what we need to do to finish off inside. Okay, so outside does look a bit of a mess, but that is because we've had all these open trenches, and for one reason or another we haven't been able to close them and make good. Part of that has changed this week, so the guys that did the electric have come back and they have reinstated for us. So that was where the connection went from the road to the box, and our disconnection where the old power cable was cut off. This is just base because we're going to have to do a top surface anyway. So I just said if they could just give us something to work with, then that was good enough for us. We have got this still open. We've still got the issues with the water, which we're working through, but I will talk a bit more about that as we go on. Just while I'm talking about these trenches, so this is where the guys have backfilled, and when the electric people were here, they compacted it, so you can see how much of a difference it is. So we'll just make sure that this is all compacted. I think we're going to throw a bit of concrete in there, but still we're going to need to compact it so that we don't get any sort of damage from settlement. So we're not allowed to really make too many changes to the outside. So that does mean that there isn't loads of work to do, but we still have some that I can show you. Just above the front door, this is the floor of Unit 5 upstairs. And obviously at the minute there is no insulation or fire break, so that needs to be done. We were going to use a product which is like a soffit product from Rockwool, but unfortunately when we've spoken to suppliers, they say that you have to buy a whole pallet, and that's like 40 or 50 pieces, and I think we probably need 1 or 2 pieces. So I think we're just going to use the same insulation as inside. It's going to be covered anyway, and I think we will probably put some cement board over the top. We need to get the correct U value for the insulation, but also we need an hour's fireproofing. So the cement board will be able to do that for us. And same again on these corners here. This will be Unit 6, and there's one into Unit 7 as well. So we will just use the same solution on both of those as the front door. Now, speaking of the water, if we can't get connected at the road, which I showed you earlier, that is our route. So it would need to go all the way through next door to the road or just to the edge of the property, which is obviously not ideal because we would have that run to trench all the way through up here. And if we had known, we could have run it into this trench, but now we've got electric cables at 450. The water would have to go at 750. So somehow we'd have to get underneath that, all the way along. And into the building. So I am chasing not only SES to get this sorted, but I'm contacting Network Rail myself now to find out what is the way forward. Okay, so I'm going to take a little walk into flat 1. I've had a quick look round, but I'm basically seeing the changes at the same time that you guys are, so there might be a bit of jumping around. I do like this flat now. Definitely was the right idea to pull the kitchen in. I mean, ideally, if we had more of the living area, then maybe you would make it a bit bigger, but still it's nice for a one-person flat. We've got the hob with the, I think they call it a downdraft extractor, so that's going to extract down and then be covered by that, straight along and out of the wall. You can see obviously where the one was before. I mean, to be honest, it was a bit far over to the right hand side anyway, but that's what we've got now behind that cabinet in the corner. Sink and everything works fine. That's going to be fine for that. We've got window sills in, and because this is a wet area here, we're going to tile that and then it will just join into the wooden sill. Okay, so as you can see, the guys have started to put the bathroom bits and pieces in. There might be a slight problem here, I think, because I don't think that door will open. But if there's one thing I've learnt, there's no point in really worrying about it. It's going to be handed over complete and correct, so it is what it is. There is space to move it over, so I guess that's what will need to happen. Again, with things like, the guys have sprayed, the paint has been sprayed, so we've got some overspray. Again, it's going to have to just be cleaned up. I don't really know, I'm guessing it happens, so they must have a process for doing that. We are waiting for doors at the minute, so that is what will be turning up this week. Again, another learning thing for us. We need to get the doors and everything else needs to be ordered earlier, I think, really. So into Unit 2, bathrooms are tiled and grouted, and sink and toilet, or basin and toilet, I best call it the right thing. Then we're going to have splashback. Now I'm not sure, some of them are just going to have a splashback behind the sink or basin, and some of them are going to have tiles that run the whole way across. So I can't remember which ones we agreed which, to be honest. But that is Unit 2's bathroom. Obviously everything painted. It's going to be a bit difficult to see today because lots of the stuff is masked up. last week you would have seen Unit 3 basically caught up with everything else. And that continues. So we've got toilet and basin. Thinking about it, we had some cracked pipe work behind there, so hopefully that's been changed. We had it was a break-in. I mean, but I don't know. It was very strange, but some people did come in one evening and damage some stuff. So kitchen there, and because we have got some extraction going on behind or above the units, we've now put it behind some MDF panelling. And again, all of the window sills are in. I think last week I was saying that some of them haven't been smoothed off yet, but that's all happened now. And again, painted everywhere. I don't know if they've just had one coat now. Speaking to the guys, I think they're actually going to do nearly all of the decorating with a sprayer. Unit 4 downstairs, it doesn't seem that much has changed. I think they're using it as a bit of a working area. The bathroom is tiled and grouted. And this is what I was saying about some of them are having a complete run of tiles for splashback. Some of them are not. And we had the niche. That was all tiled in, so the tiler had to remove part of a tile and put the niche in afterwards. And again, nothing has really changed here. We have almost certainly now decided to go for packs from IKEA. That will be boxed in within a packs unit, and then we'll just continue them over so it will look like fitted wardrobes. But apart from that, this may have even been sprayed last week when I was here. I can't really remember. But not much changed in Unit 4. Unit 5 is the unit that's similar layout to Unit 1 downstairs, but it is a lot wider. So we've got 2 units there before the return. This hob would also be in, but it turned up and it was smashed. So we've had a replacement sent, so that will be going in this week. Okay, so funny, this actually fits this one. So I'm not too sure. We'll have to have a look and see what's happened downstairs. Also, this one has a slight return because it is wider. So they've both got the 1200 shower tray, but downstairs it basically fits side to side, whereas this one has a return. So I can't believe that makes that much difference, but it seems to have. I have to have a look because downstairs, does that have a frame on that side as well? Again, everything I need to check with the guys on Tuesday. So as I've said, it's not going to not be done, so it's not worth worrying about. We will just find out what's happened and go from there. So yeah, Unit 5 coming along. Flooring, kitchen, bathroom, paint. Oh, looks like a real work area. I'll probably leave this one. As you can imagine, it's, again, sprayed, kitchens are going in, bathroom is actually happening right now. I can probably make it to the bathroom. So, the difference in here, these are wall hung. The rest are to the floor, and that is because of this pipe, going to need to be boxed in obviously, but I think the drawers were interfering, even though they have, you know, cutouts and they are shorter. I think it was still just interfering. So we sent those ones back and we went for wall hung instead. And unit 7. So unit 7, tiled and grouted. Bathroom hasn't started, so I'm guessing after 6 it'll be 7. Again, painted. Boxing similar to unit 3. And like I said a few times now, not really much is going to happen in the bedrooms. I think they're pretty much done, to be honest. Just a bit more painting and the doors when they turn up. It's interesting. So you can see the door frame here, but not here. The same as in 5. So again, just something I'm going to ask the guys when I see them on Tuesday. The floor was chopped out in last week's video, and just to talk about that again, so we're going to self-level. We are then going to use epoxy sort of resin paint. It's about the thickness of paint. Once the first layer is down, you throw some flake into it and then you put a clear coat over the top, and we will just make sure that it's all in line with the existing top step. So as you can see, it's definitely coming along now. I'm going to try and find out exactly when our completion date should be. That, I mean, we can only ask the guys to comment on the work that they have control of, obviously. So let's call it completion for inside the building. This water issue we are all over, and hopefully we can at least get a timescale at some point next week, whether we're going to be able to connect to the road, and if so, how long, or if we have to connect through the neighbours. That may well be the quicker option, but the amount of trenching and the work involved, it's not ideal. Also, again, then we would have to resurvey with SES Water. We'd have to also pass regs again. So that is also not, time-wise, that's also not very, very fast. Hopefully we would be able to get some sort of preferential treatment because of the problems that we've had. Yeah, but let's see. We will know more next week. Right guys, that is it for this week. And as always, if you have made it to the end, please consider subscribing, and I will see you again next week.